Terry Brooks announced his retirement a couple of weeks ago, the Sword of Shannara epic fantasy author who built a beautiful world, and I loved that book growing up. And the whole first trilogy, I think it really didn't need more than that, to be honest. But he has made a whole career of it, and a lot of fans still love the Shannara series all the way through. We know that it even spawned an MTV series, which was loosely based upon it. Didn't quite work out, I thought. And he named a successor in writing, and Delilah Dawson is the woman who is going to be taking over for him. Now, I had spider senses going on at the time that this was going to be a problem, and she is a radical leftist. She is part of the mainstream machine, part of the Whisper network, like none other. She's been propped up this entire time, is not very popular with fans, and we're going to see a woke iteration of what happens with Terry Brooks. I've talked to some insiders who are connected with his publisher, and they're all kind of laughing about it. This was publisher-driven. The publisher wanted to push this woman, and this is what we're seeing across mainstream publishing, is that these people are getting pushed. They don't necessarily sell. They don't necessarily do well, but they all have an agenda, and that agenda is very important to them because they want to flood the shelves with that kind of thing, so there's no other alternatives. Now, of course, what happens here is it backfires. It just makes it so bookstores don't get any people going to them, and that people go to Amazon or other places for their entertainment. But at the same time, they keep doing it in hopes that they can radicalize and change the culture, which they've been working very, very hard and diligently doing over the last 15 years. We're fighting back against it. A lot of people are starting to catch on, which thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the real fantasy news. This is it. This is where we are actually working on the culture and doing cool things here, guys. Join our community. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join our Discord and talk books with us. I'm a fantasy writer myself. I just came out with The Demon's Eye last week. This is actually my best-selling launch I've ever had, and it's all because of readers like you. This is classic sword and sorcery fantasy. It's not an epic fantasy that's like a big doorstopper or anything like that, but it is a regular fantasy that has a beginning, middle, and end. It's not meant to have a series. It's a one and done. It's something that you don't see a lot these days, but this is exactly what fantasy was back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the golden age. And so we're trying to bring it back here. A strong male lead, fighting real evil. He gets the princess. This is the type of stuff that fantasy used to be built upon, the type of stuff that Delilah Dawson's trying to subvert with her feminist ideology. And this is why it's resonating so well. I finally got the paperback linked on Amazon. I know a lot of people were asking for it. It's actually been up, but it's there now on the same page. So grab this. It's in the description below. Support real fantasy this weekend. This will be a great weekend read for you guys. And it's only $4.99 as an ebook. I really appreciate you guys supporting our channel and making it possible for me to be an author here full time. And yes, thank you for making this such a huge success upon launch. Really appreciate you guys for being here. So, Terry Brooks announced earlier this month he was going to enter semi-retirement and announced that Delilah Dawson would succeed him, taking over the Shannara series, which he's been writing since '68. Of course, he posted, and we talked about it already on another video, and this is what's going down at this point. Dawson is a radical gender ideology propagandist. She made this abundantly clear in an interview with Uncanny Magazine discussing her book, The Wake of Vultures. Now, Uncanny Magazine, if you don't know how the fiction world works right now, these magazines are like starter places for a lot of these authors that get propped up later. These magazines are always very woke. The people who run them are just anti-American, they're anti-Christian, they are just nasty people, all of them. Uncanny Magazine's one of the worst out of there. They've been pushing this radical critical race theory stuff for a long time, radical gender ideology stuff for a long time, the whole DEI stuff. It all has been propped up in science fiction for way longer than it's been in the rest of the culture. Now, this was their interview with Delilah S. Dawson showing this, and she is a person who got propped up through these magazines like this originally to get into this. So she says her Wake of Vultures is about a transgender queer mixed race cowpoke in the 1800s Texas. Holy crap, that's a lot of buzzwords. Woo! How do you even get past that right there? Most of my story ideas start with one trope I'm excited to flip like a table. That's a lot of tropes. Transgender, queer, mixed race, cowpoke, whatever that means. And I threw from the start, I wanted Maria to see the negative side of her powers. Because it's isn't that a dude then, if that's the case? Okay. That destruction wasn't always for the preferred outcome. This was my not all men hashtag. And this is what they do all the time because they really are anti-man in this publishing industry. And so they try to make a sort of sort of thing about misogyny, lifetime of catcalling, stalkers or rapists. This is all they always talk about, right? Some of my best friends are dudes and all this, right? I don't hate men, I love men. This is the type of stuff that they make jokes about. When they call us racist, and we're like, wait a minute, like, my I've got black buddies and they always made jokes about, oh yeah, your black friend, that means you could say the N-word in your mind, huh? And yet notice they do this unironically. This is how they want to. I want the ones who hurt women to explode in flames. Now, this is where it's at. And you can see, like, all of the normal people. Sherry Priest is one of those woke activists, and they're ferocious. This is Chuck Wendig. The wake of vultures doesn't just fly, it soars. I love these blurbs for for book covers because they never say anything. Awesome, absorbing. What, they don't mean anything, right? By the way, if you want me to give you a book blurb, just email me. If you got a book, I'd be happy to do it because I'd be happy to say ferocious and fascinating for you also. But it's funny. There's Sherry Priest, Chuck Wendig, the worst Star Wars writer of all time on here. And Delilah Dawson, of course, is a pretty bad Star Wars writer herself, but doesn't compare to him. And you can see, like, the mainstream was all over. There's Patrick Rothfuss. I enjoyed the hell out of it. He can't even write his own book. There you go. Wesley Chu's another one that gets propped up by them a lot. She also claimed the entire premise of her short story Catcall was based off of a Twitter comment. As with most things, it was a Twitter comment. I was all riled up. I tend to get. Stated if I had a superpower, it would be kicking the asses of dudes who make women uncomfortable by catcalling, and I realized there was a story here. Most of the specific instances in Catcall, the babysitting dad, the calculus book, the football player, the coffee house guy actually happened to me, almost word for word. Putting them on a page as fiction helped validate the way I felt. And this is always what it is with these amateur writers that are pushing their identity shit all the time. Sorry for swearing there. I get agitated by this stuff. But it's always about me. I put me into this story. All of their protagonists are always themselves. They are hack writers. I never do that, by the way. I don't view myself as Jaden here in the Demon's Eye. Not at all. This is not me at all. This guy is a brooding war veteran, and that is not my life. So I do not think about that. I write characters. I don't write me, and that's the difference between a real writer and somebody like this. So she says, the way I felt each time I was physical or emotional power over me made me feel small and helpless when I was younger. Oh, gosh. Get over it. Here's her strong female they-them Rise of the Blade Star Wars deal. She says it's a feminist manifesto, and this is what we can expect happening to the Terry Brooks stuff right here. Every wronged girl deserves to blow this shit up, even if it's just in her mind. Even if it's just in her mind. Look at this. It's validating mental illness, always with these people, isn't it? Every day of my life, the message I've gotten from society is I'm supposed to be nice, that a woman should be quiet and well-behaved and well-liked and normal. This is the lesson compounding over the years until women feel their voices don't matter, that their complaints aren't valid, that it's better to remain silent. Angry, you must be on the rag. Sad, you must be weak and eating ice cream in your sweatpants. Outspoken, you must be a lesbian because that's not feminine. Oh, these people are so insufferable. I remember the first time I saw the movie Welcome to the Dollhouse, and I really connected with Dawn. They always really connect with these characters. They see me. Every time I see she's angry, she's not allowed to talk back. She hears the fantastic rage music. Now, when I'm angry, I hear rage music too, and Maria is that side of me. I thought it was a trans dude. I'm so confused. These people, well, you know what they are. They're all mentally ill, and that's what they're pushing through this stuff. So this is what we're getting for Shannara now. This is what Terry Brooks has put into it. And like I said, I've heard internally that this was not so much his decision as it was somebody at the publisher who wanted to push Delilah Dawson, try to get her, profile higher again, to raise her up as somebody within the industry who's like supposed to be respected and all that. And that's what they do on this sort of thing all the time. The publishers do this kind of thing, and it's really, really sad to watch because we're going to see a legacy of epic fantasy absolutely destroyed right here on a level that we've never seen before, because every time you insert radical feminism into this stuff, it ruins everything it touches. There's your warning. So that's the fantasy news, everybody. That's Delilah S. Dawson. Please spread the word because a lot of people don't know about this. They're going to see Terry Brooks's name. They're going to see the Shannara name and just buy it by habit. But it needs to be known. It needs to be out there. We need to call this stuff out in culture and change the culture here. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out my Demon's Eye novel. This is the opposite. This is classic fantasy. If you want to change the culture, this is the spot to be. You're going to love this book. Grab it this weekend. Thank you for making this a success. We'll be back soon.